Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Study On. This is Samia Aziz. Today we will learn in our lecture how to calculate select time in our network diagram. In our previous lecture, we did understood about how to make a network diagram, which was basic in nature. And today we will learn that how to calculate select for each activity that we have in our diagram. So we're going to start with the same problem, which is based on this table. It has set of activities from A to G. It has allocated times for each activity in days. We have immediate predecessors, and if you are not able to understand what immediate predecessor is, that you have to go to a previous lecture to understand what these terms basically mean, which I have explained in a detailed manner. So for now, as we know how to create a basic network diagram. This is same as a basic network diagram. The only difference you will find is in the nodes. So here these are the simple circles, but in calculation of the select time, you will see a difference in the circles, that it has 4 sections available. These 4 sections are basically going to help us calculate the 4 times, which is earliest start, earliest finish, latest start, and latest finish. So before jumping into the actual calculation, I would like you to understand the simple concept about the earliest start and earliest finish times. So it will help you understand that how you are how to analyze and how to calculate the 4 values and what they actually mean. So suppose this is a circle and it is being broken down into the 4 pieces. The center of the circle will always be the actual activity and its actual expected time or estimated time that it takes to complete it, for suppose A and 7. So the first corner of this activity will always be the time, which is earliest time. We will say it the earliest start time. The second corner will be always earliest finish time, and this corner will represent latest start, and this will represent latest finish time. Okay, so as for the sake of understanding, you can understand it in a way that the earliest start time is the time that you will start now always, plus when you add its actual time, it will lead you to the earliest finish time. So this makes sense. You start early and you finish early. Then latest start time is a time that is a delayed time, that how delay you can make in your activity to start working on it. So latest start plus the actual time is always going to give you the latest finish time, but it will be never more than the actual time of the activity to finish. One more thing I would like you to tell that the direction of the calculations. The direction of the calculation will help you to understand and memorize to calculate in a proper manner. So the earliest start and earliest finish times are always calculated in the forward manner. So when you're doing the calculation for earliest start and earliest finish, so you will be always moving this direction, which is a forward direction. So I'm writing here earliest start and earliest finish times, right? And when you are going to calculate the latest start and latest finish times, so the direction of movement will be again in opposite direction. So you will always move like this. So so this will be for easy for you to memorize when you are doing the calculations. So I am, for the sake of memorizing it, I am writing here latest start and latest finish times. So once you have calculated these earliest start and earliest finish time in one go, then you can calculate the latest start and latest finish time. So let's start with the activity A. So the latest start time for activity A is always 0, because you can start working on activity A now. 0 plus 7, which is the actual time of the activity A, so it will be earliest finish time, which is 7. So here's a simple formula for it. So if you have to calculate the earliest finish time, which will be equals to earliest start time plus estimated time of activity A. So this will lead you to the final value of the earliest finish time. So now as you can see that A is leading to more activities, so B and C are dependent on A. So it makes sense that when A is completed on the 7th day, B and C can be started right away on the 7th day. So it means that we are going to allocate the time 7th day for activity B and C, which means that B and C can start it from the 7th day. Now B takes 2 days, so 7 plus 2 will become 9. And C activity will take 4 days, so 7 plus 4 will become 11. Right. Now here comes the thing to consider, that activity D will take 4 days, but which time to allocate to activity D? Either 9 or 11. So let's consider that if we allocate time 9 to activity D, which means that as soon as B will be completed, D could be started. But what about C, which has 11 days to complete? So it means that D activity cannot be started unless the both activities are finished, right? So in case of considering that thing, we will be always allocating the maximum value to activity D, which is 11, because in 11th day, 9th day is already coming in. So no matter, B activity will complete earlier and it has an idle time or a slack time, so it will rest, but we will always take the maximum value so that activity D will have both completed activities for completion of itself. So we will be taking 11 in that case. 11 plus 4, 15. Now again, 15 is the earliest finish time. The earliest finish time of the earlier activity will become, the preceding activity will become the earliest start time of the successor activity. So 15 will be allocated to activity E. 15 plus 4, 19. Now again, you see here that activity E has two successor activities, which will be started as soon as activity E is completed. So we will allocate 19 to both, because as soon as E is completed, we can anytime start activity F and G. So 19 and 19. 19 plus 3, 22. 19 plus 5, so if you will go and check the time of activity G, which is the final activity, and you will see that this is the value available in the critical path time, which is the maximum time of the project. So here it is confirming that we have done the calculation in right manner. Now we are going to calculate the latest start and finish times. We will be going backward direction. So we here have two values, 22 and 24. So the project's value will be chosen on behalf of the earliest finish time. We will be taking the time which is the maximum time of the project. So if we are not going to take maximum time, then the minimum time will be allocated, which will not match to the time, overall time of our project, which will mislead the project, which will mislead the calculation. So we are going to take maximum number, which is 24. So here 24 is taken as a latest finish time. So now each time we will be subtracting the value of latest finish time, the expected time from the latest finish time. So this will be like latest finish time minus expected time of any activity. For suppose activity G is equals to, we will get the latest start time of activity G. This is a simple formula that you will carry on for the rest of the calculations. So 24 minus 5 will become 19, and 24 minus 3 will become 21. So here comes the point to understand that again we have the similar situation that we had here in terms of B and C activity, that we had to allocate the maximum value to D activity. But here it is reciprocal. Among both of the values of the latest start times, which is 21 and 19, we will be always choosing a time which is minimum in value. So which is 19. because if we choose 21, which will reflect that the activity can be delayed for or completed on the 21st day. So if 21st day the activity is completed, definitely activity G will be delayed. If 21 plus 5, then activity G will be delayed for a maximum time, so it will cross the overall time of the project, and we don't want that. So we have to always choose a minimum value when we are calculating let us start and let us finish. It already means that we are delaying, taking a time which is delayed for our project. So late and late, how late or how delayed we can start our activity. So 19 minus 4, now it will be 15, and now allocates 15 directly to activity D. 15 minus 4, 11. Now again we have same situation where we have two nodes, but right now we have the same value, and we have just one node over here, so we can easily allocate 11 to both of the nodes. Now once the values have been allocated, subtract 2 from 11, it will be 9 here, and it will be 7 here. 11 minus 4. So now we have 9 and 7. Again, the same situation is arise. So 9 and 7, which is the minimum value? The minimum value is 7. So 7, we have to take a minimum value, and 7 minus 7 will become 0. If we were choosing 9, so see, 9 minus 7, 2. So it will basically do what? It will basically elongate the time of completion time of our project, which we don't want. So we have to consider these basic things in our calculation. So this is how we have calculated the earliest start time and earliest finish time, latest start and latest finish time. Now it's the time to calculate our select. So we are going to calculate the selects very quickly. Here you can either calculate from this side of the node or the other side of the node. For calculation, you can do it this manner, that you can write the formula which is very simple, which is latest start minus latest earliest start is equals to select, or you can calculate from this side as well, which is latest finish minus earliest finish is equals to select. Both will lead you to the same value. So let's check it. 0 minus 0 will become 0. So select is 0, or 7 minus 7 will be 0. For activity B, the select value will be 9 minus 7, 2, or either 11 minus 9, 2. Okay, so select value for activity C. 7 minus 7, 0, 11 minus 11, 0. So S is equals to 0 in that case. For activity D, again we have both same values, so S is equals to 0, no select. And for activity E, again we have no select available. For activity F, the select will be 21 minus 19, so will be value 2, or if you calculate from 24 minus 22, the same value will come. So select here for activity G is 19 minus 19, 0, and 24 minus 24, 0. So this was the easiest method of calculating selects once you have calculated the 4 times in your network diagram. Okay, so now what the select value are telling us? The select value are telling us that the values that have 0 select are very crucial or are critical, that cannot be delayed. If the values the activities that have 0 select value are going to be delayed, your overall project time will be delayed, which will cause a penalty or can cause you most of costs that are actually bad for your firm. So the value activities that are lying on select is equals to 0 are the ones that cannot be delayed a day or any hour more, and all any activities that have value more than 0. For example, there is a select value 2, activity B has a 2, and activity F has a select value 2. So these are the two activities that you can delay for 2 days, and you can always start working on it after 2 days of the actual time. So here it's telling that how earliest you can start on the 7th day, activity B, but you should you will, by starting on 7th day, you will end finishing the activity on 9th day, but if you are going to start it late, you can start on 9th day and you will finish on the 11th day. It's the maximum time. We cannot delay it because on the 11th day activity D is going to be started as the C is also completed. So this was the basic concept about it. I hope it was helpful. Thank you.